be shock proof. It should be shock proof. This is the first property that is desired. It should be cheap. Okay, it should be cheap. Then you can say lightweight. Then you can say it should be able to bear the load applied. That is very important. Should be able to bear the load applied. Okay, then it should be fireproof. Then unaffected by moisture. Okay, fireproof, it should be unaffected by moisture and atmosphere. Okay, so you can see here the properties of the ideal insulating materials are, you can see it should be shock proof, it should be cheap, it should be lightweight. Then you can see it should be able to bear the load applied, it should be fireproof, it should be unaffected by moisture and atmosphere. So this is very important for a particular ideal insulator case that we are going to see. Now let us try to take the examples glass wool and thermocol, a very important things in the case of the insulator. They are finding good applications and good properties that will be taking up later on, but now we'll see types of the insulating materials. Okay, now see what are the types of this insulating material. It is classified basically into the 4 categories, that is natural insulating material, insulating wools, insulating foils, manufactured insulating materials. Natural insulating material, what does it means? It occurs in the nature itself. Insulating wools, insulating foils, we'll see with example. Manufactured insulating materials are prepared by us and depending on the design and the properties we want in them. Look here, the first type, that is natural insulating material. This type of material occur from nature or is obtained from living life. So this one has to keep in mind. Examples: fire clay, animal hair, silica, etc. They are used in industries for conservation of the heat. So these are the uses and you can say example of the natural insulating material. Insulating foils. They are used for refrigeration purposes. Example: aluminium foil, zirconium foil, etc. Insulating wools. Examples: rock wool, mineral wool, glass wool, slag wool. Manufactured insulating materials. Okay, these include zirconium carbide, titanium carbide and silicon carbide, silica aerogel, foam glass and urethane, etc. These are basically manufactured insulating materials that can be used. So we have seen 4 types, that is natural insulating material, insulating wools, insulating foils, manufactured insulating materials. In that we have seen that natural insulating materials occur from nature or is obtained from the living life. Example: fire clay, animal hair, silica, etc. Then you have they are used in industries for conservation of the heat. Then we can say they are used for refrigeration purpose, aluminium foil, zirconium foil, etc. Then we can have rock wool, mineral wool, glass wool, slag wool, etc. for insulating wools. Then we can have zirconium carbide, titanium carbide, silicon carbide, silica aerogel, foam glass, urethane, all these are coming into the category of manufactured insulating materials. Now, what are the properties of this glass wool? If you see, glass wool is finding very good application in daily life because of its special properties. Let us try to see what are the properties of this glass wool. That is, you have low density in case of the glass wool, low thermal conductivity, low electrical conductivity, it is fireproof, it is non-combustible, resistant to chemicals, good tensile strength. Means what? It is basically fireproof, then resistant to chemicals, and good strength is finding its applications in specific zone. Okay, let us try to see the applications. Glass wool is used as thermal insulator in motors, ovens, refrigerators, walls and roofs of houses. It is used in air filters, it is used for sound insulation, it is used to manufacture fiberglass. This is the property of the, you can say, application of the glass wool. So we can see here the properties of the glass wool: low density, low thermal conductivity, low electrical conductivity, fireproof, resistant to chemicals, non-combustible, good tensile strength, used as a thermal insulator in motors, ovens, refrigerators, walls and roofs of houses, used in air filters, used for sound insulation, used to manufacture fiberglass. Properties of the thermocol. Let us try to take the another example of the thermocol. In the daily life, thermocol is very common in use, and that's why it is so much famous. The thing is that it is having some properties that is making it much popular. Thermocol is a low density material. It is spongy, porous and foam like structure. Thermocol is shock proof. It is chemically inert and it has low electrical conductivity as it is insulator. So due to its lightweight and foam like structure, chemical inertness, thermocol is finding special applications. Application of the thermocol. It is used as ideal packing material for delicate electrical and electronic equipments. You all are aware that whenever we purchase any new things at home, then always it comes in a special packing of the thermocol. Any electronic device, anything we purchase, that comes in a special packing because it can withstand the load, and that's why our instrument can be protected from the damage during the transport. So it is an ideal packing material. Now this thermocol is used as heat insulator in refrigeration and air conditioning process. It is used for decoration and protection purpose, that is finding a very special application. Okay, so this is for the case of the thermocol part. Up till now, whatever we have discussed, let us try to see that in that we have seen we have started with the different types of the advantages, disadvantages we have seen in this session. That is, you can see why this polymers, the definition that is starting. Polymer is a large molecule that was formed by repeated linking of similar or dissimilar monomers. Poly means many, mer means unit. Monomer is a simple organic compound which can form polymer by chemical bonding. Mono means single, mer means unit. These definitions are now clear. The advantages of polymer we have seen: cheap, easy to transport, lightweight, corrosion resistant, tailor made, available in variety of color. Disadvantages part we have seen: acting as a pollutant, temperature dependent property, time dependent property, low strength. Then we have classified the polymer into three categories on the basis of temperature, on the basis of structure, on the basis of the functional group. On the basis of the temperature, if you see, we have classified in two classes: thermoplastic, thermosetting plastic. We have compared the different. Thermoplastic means plastic which softens on heating and hardens on cooling. Thermosetting plastic, on the other hand, you can see plastic which do not soften on heating. Here you can see it is formed by addition polymerization, it is formed by condensation polymerization. Then here you can see thermoplastics can be remolded, thermosetting plastics cannot be remolded. Thermoplastics possess low molecular weight, thermosetting plastic possess high molecular weight. Thermoplastic is soluble in organic solvent, thermosetting plastic is insoluble in organic solvent. These are the things. Now coming to the second category of classification, that was linear polymer, branched polymer, cross-linked polymer. We have seen here that linear polymer case is very clear if you know a polymer in which monomer molecules react with each other to form a long continuous chain structure. It means we have seen that for linear our monomers were arranged like this fashion. Okay, so for that is a linear case. About the branched polymer, we have seen that it is a polymer in which monomer molecules react with each other to form the long chain with some branches. Cross-linked polymer, we have the polymer in which monomer molecules react with each other to form a long chain along with chains interlinked with each other. Then we move to the homopolymer case. We have already discussed that the homo means same. The polymer made up of same type of monomers is called homopolymer. Heteropolymer case is if the polymer is made up of different types of monomers, then it is called heteropolymer. Graft copolymer is they are branched structures in which monomer segments on branches and backbone differs. What does this means? We have already seen the structures discussed earlier, that is the segments on the branches and on the backbones are entirely different as shown here. Just have a look on that. This is M1, 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 M1. These are basically your one chain of the monomer. We have M2, that is different monomer, that is the branches. Okay, so this is known as Kraft copolymer. Why Kraft copolymer? Because one chain is grafted with another chain. Now moving another, we have also discussed what are the types of polymerization techniques. Polymerization techniques are of two types, that is addition polymerization, condensation polymerization. With that we have also seen so many things, that is you can see addition polymerization. Look at the example, that is we have taken the example of polyethylene in this case. Polyethylene example is we have ethene molecule. Okay, n number of ethene molecules are trying to combine chemically and form the long chain that is known as polyethylene molecule. Okay, that is polymer. So poly means many, ethylene means monomer. When many ethene units or when many ethene monomers are combining together by chemical bond, it gives rise to formation of polyethylene. Clear this much? So this is very important thing. Then we have seen the next thing, that is addition polymerization speciality. Addition polymerization was having the requirement of the double bond, but if you see on the other hand comparison, condensation polymerization was having requirement of the reactive functional group. If you see here, no byproduct is formed in addition polymerization, but in case of condensation polymerization byproduct is formed. If you see in case of the addition polymerization, polymer product is formed very rapidly, very fast. But if you see for condensation polymerization, polymer product is formed slowly. If you see for addition polymerization, thermoplastics are made by this method. But for condensation polymerization, thermosetting plastics are prepared by this method. So this one has to keep in mind. I have shown you the example of the nylon 6,6 that we have prepared with the help of hexamethylene monomers that was there, and hexamethylene was basically combining with adipic acid and that was forming the nylon in the compound, nylon as the compound. Let us try to move ahead. We have discussed the examples of these polymers. Polyethylene, classified again into high density polyethylene, low density polyethylene. They are chemically inert. It is tough and flexible at low temperature. Regarding LDPE, that is low density polyethylene. High density polyethylene is more stiff, hard compared to the low density polyethylene. If you see the application part, there we can see it is used as film for general packing and carrier bags, in molded toys, in tubes, mugs, etc. High density polyethylene is used to pack food products. It is used in gas and water piping, milk bottles, etc. You can see PVC properties discussed. PVC is polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride is another finding important application. If you see the structure, just have a look here. Polyvinyl chloride, this is vinyl chloride group. When n number of vinyl chloride group react together, then what happens? It leads to formation of the polymer, that is PVC, that is your polyvinyl chloride. Okay, similar is the case when n number of ethene molecules react, they form polyethylene in the structure. Similar is the case for the Teflon. When tetrafluoroethylene molecules, n number of tetrafluoroethylene molecules react together, polymerize together, they form a long chain that is known as your polytetrafluoroethylene, that is known as your Teflon. We have seen the properties of the PVC, that is PVC is colorless, odorless and inflammable. It is basically resistant to chemicals, excellent oil resistant, acting as a good insulator and waterproof. Applications as PVC is used to make drainage pipes, water supply pipes, used in car applications, bathroom curtains, purses, handbags, etc. It finds important role in making raincoats, shoes, as it is waterproof. Polytetrafluoroethylene, as shown here, Teflon, finding a very important properties: high density, chemically inert, over a wide range of temperature, good insulator, non-adhesive properties, excellent toughness and heat resistance. Polytetrafluoroethylene or Teflon